Today I'll be giving a speech on Matthew McConaughey's 2014 Academy Awards acceptance speech for Best Actor. Some of you guys may know McConaughey for his famous line, "All right, all right, all right." But in 2014, he delivered one of the most memorable speeches that the Oscars has ever seen. My thesis for today is that McConaughey effectively adapts to his rhetorical situation through authenticity, emotional storytelling, and a simple structure. Let's go over our main points for today. I'm first going to start off with the rhetorical situation, then we'll look at the ethos, pathos, and logos. We'll then move on to the delivery and impact, and finally we'll look at a couple lessons for us today. But before that, I want to get into a little bit of context. So this was in 2014, which was the peak of his career. He had just gotten the role in the Dallas Buyers Club as the main character, and this was his first transition from rom-com movies to a dramatic role. So there was a lot of pressure on him when he was doing this movie. Now let's take a look at the rhetorical situation. The exigence was that this was, as I stated, this was McConaughey's biggest switch in his career. He had to go from being mainly a rom-com movie star now into a dramatic role. This was also known as the McConaissance, as time stated. For the audience, there were two audiences that he had to address. In front of him were some of the most famous celebrities in Hollywood. And back home, there was over 40 million people who were watching this speech in real time. Constraints. For the constraints, there's time. So usually in an Oscars speech, you go up there, you thank your family, you thank who you worked with, and you're off, usually within 20, 30 seconds. Also, the expectations for McConaughey were very high. He had just won this award, everyone knew that this was the peak of his career, and he was one of the most famous people in Hollywood. So they assumed that he was going to be able to deliver a strong, genuine, and professional speech. Now let's get into the ethos. McConaughey builds his ethos up by first thanking his family and his mentors. He also talks about his faith and gratitude and shows that he would not have gotten to this place that he's been in today without the people who shaped him. His humility made him instantly more relatable, said the Washington Post. Now looking at the pathos. In his speech, he talks about his father who had recently passed away. This is a way that he's able to easily connect with the audience on an emotional scale. He also talks about what motivates him daily, and that's his wife and his kids. Time stated, his vulnerability creates a universal emotional connection. Now moving on to the logos. In his speech, he delivers a structure of three things. First, someone to look up to. Second, someone to look forward to. And third, someone to chase. The three-thing structure made the speech feel clear without sounding rehearsed, said The Guardian. Now for the tone and delivery. Watching this speech, you can see that McConaughey is very calm when he's up there. He's very confident. He's very genuine with the way he's speaking. You can tell that it's not rehearsed. You can tell that it's a natural delivery. In the YouTube video, you can see that he pauses naturally. He also uses light humor here and there in order to get the audience interactive. Now for his impact and lasting influence. When he gave this speech, it became very famous. Clips of this were all over the internet, and people were easily able to resonate with what he had to say. It was very motivational and was also very emotionally appealing to many viewers. The Daily Beast even stated that it was unexpectedly inspiring. There was a couple lessons we could take away from this speech. First off, authenticity. Building authenticity means you can create trust between you and the audience, which is very important for a successful speech. Next up, structure. Structure helps the audience follow along with what you're saying and your main message. Also, having personal storytelling in your speech is a very good way to emotionally be able to connect with your audience. And finally, a purpose. When you're speaking, you want to always make sure that you are speaking with a purpose and speaking with your goals in mind. In conclusion, this was a very large rhetorical moment, and McConaughey tackled this moment. He showed authenticity, emotion, and structure when delivering the speech. What we can learn from this as a class is that we have to be authentic ourselves, be structured, and to always give our speeches with a purpose. For me personally, watching this speech helps me stay grounded, helps me understand that I should stay faithful, and also helps me understand that I need to be able to visualize myself as a successful person if I someday want to reach those goals. Thank you. Here's my work study.